Do you know that moment when you look around and it seems like love happens to everyone else except you? It's as if people find partners, form couples, live stories, while you are there, trying, giving your all, but everything falls apart along the way. Perhaps you have already given your best, thrown yourself completely, believed with all your heart, and devoted yourself entirely. And in the end, what did you receive in return? Silence, lies, distance, or worse. That kind of coldness that hurts more than any argument. And in the middle of all this, you start asking yourself, is the problem me? Is there something wrong inside me? Is it some kind of karma, curse, or was I simply born to be alone? Let me tell you something that maybe no one has ever truly told you. If you are still single, it's not because something is missing in you. It's not because you are not enough. It's because there is something very valuable within you, something that cannot be given away just any way. You have a sacred essence, and the sacred does not mix with just any energy. What is pure cannot connect with what is unclean. As hard as it may be to understand, sometimes God protects you, distances you, shields you even from yourself. You were not meant to live shallow relationships. You were set apart from the beginning. Your heart is not a stage for games. It is a temple, and God tends to this temple with care, even if it means leaving you alone for a while. You are one of the chosen, and the chosen do not unite with just anyone at any time. Your soul carries a greater mission, an energy not everyone can handle. That is why sometimes you feel that emptiness, that sense that things are delayed, but they are not. This waiting is not a punishment. It is part of a greater plan, a strategy from above. If this understanding is reaching you now, it is because something is starting to align. God is preparing the ground, moving the pieces, because what is coming for you is not ordinary. It is divine. You have always been preserved, even when it seemed like rejection, even when you were left aside by those you truly loved, and even when you did not understand why certain connections didn't work. But all of this has a reason, a purpose. There is a mark upon you, a signature from above, and when God chooses someone for something special, He needs to shape that person. Often, this process comes with isolation. Every time a relationship didn't work out, every story that almost happened, every bond that broke, all of it was part of your preparation. It is a form of cleansing, a way to free you from connections that could prevent you from fulfilling your calling. You possess a rare light, and that light disturbs those who still live in darkness. Sometimes, you entered relationships that drained you, diminished you, left you without energy. Deep down, you felt that it wasn't love. It was an attempt to dim the light of your soul. And that's when God acted. He created distances, closed doors, and ended cycles. Even if you did everything to keep it alive, even if you cried, begged, and believed, God did not punish you. He freed you, protected you from what you still couldn't see as toxic. Because in the spiritual plane, a relationship is not just an exchange of affection. It is a connection of souls, an invisible contract. And if the other soul is not aligned with heaven, the union becomes a silent war within you. That is why He protects you, even if you don't understand, even if it hurts, because the mission you carry is far too great to be dragged into relationships that have no roots in true love. When the right moment comes, everything will make sense. You will understand that this waiting was actually preparation. What seemed like loneliness was, in reality, a celestial waiting room where you were being refined. This is one of the greatest conflicts for those with a chosen soul, the struggle between the desire to love and God's timing. You want to love, to share your life, to build alongside someone, and that is beautiful. It is legitimate. But God does not unite two people based on neediness, lifespan, or mere passion. He unites them based on the soul's level of maturity. Perhaps you have already met the right person, But if neither of you was ready, it couldn't happen, because true love requires spiritual preparation, not just desire. And this is where the pain lies, because you feel ready. You feel that you have so much to give, to care for, to add, yet you are still alone. And in that solitude comes the distressing question: did I do something wrong? The truth is, you did nothing wrong. God is simply refining you. He is purifying your intentions, healing old wounds, strengthening you from within, so that when the time comes, you will be whole. And not everyone who passed through your life and left was a bad person. Sometimes those people simply weren't prepared to walk alongside you in the purpose God set for you. Loving someone who carries a spiritual mission is not simple. It is walking alongside someone with a different sensitivity, a vision that not everyone can understand. And that is precisely why God does not allow you to connect deeply with people who are still trapped in ego, impulses, or inner confusion. Even if they attract you, even if they seem ready, you are a channel of light, and anyone by your side must do more than just love you. They must respect, protect, and strengthen this light. God does not only want you to be happy. Now, He wants to see you connected with what will expand you, not with what will suffocate you. And while that connection is not possible, He prefers to keep you alone, not as a punishment, but out of care. Because your heart was not made for fleeting experiences. It was made to live something deep, true, and purposeful. God is shaping your inner self to receive a love that carries the same weight as the mission He entrusted to you. Relationships are not just emotional or physical encounters, they are spiritual portals, something many people ignore, but chosen souls often learn, sometimes in the most painful way. Every time you connect with someone, there is an exchange of energy. And because you are extremely spiritually sensitive, you feel everything: the other person's pain, traumas, burdens, and even the spiritual influences they carry. That is why certain encounters leave you exhausted. That is why sometimes a simple argument can consume you for days. It is not drama, it is not weakness, it is spiritual sensitivity. You feel what is beyond what the eyes can see, because your mission involves healing, wisdom, and elevation. But if you open this gift to the wrong person, it is your channel that gets affected. Your connection with the divine becomes compromised. And yes, the darkness knows this. It knows that if it cannot stop you directly, it will try to entangle you with everything that delays you, drains you, and pulls you down. That is why you became the target of unstable, manipulative, and broken people. Not because you are weak, but because you have a light that draws attention. And even without realizing it, they tried to absorb what God placed within you, and your mistake was seeing only the love. You ignored the warnings, the signs. You wanted to help, save, and understand. But this was not your battle. This was not your calling. So God had to intervene, remove you from that situation, let you suffer for a while, take you out of where you were before it could extinguish the mission He entrusted to you. At the time, you felt as if you had lost, as if you had been betrayed, but it was God setting you free. Because every time you unite with someone who is not ready, your solitude is not a punishment, but divine protection. God shields you from distractions and relationships that could dim your light, using this time to strengthen, refine, and prepare you for your true mission. Celibacy becomes a sacred space where God cultivates wisdom, silence, and inner power, teaching you to love without losing yourself and to build your identity around Him, not others. True love will come when both souls are whole and mature, aligned with their higher purpose. This period of loneliness, though painful, is a preparation, a divine training ground, shaping you for a greater, lasting mission. You were not left behind. You were separated for a reason. God is purifying your love and preparing a union that truly aligns with your soul. True love is not about appearances, chemistry, or convenience. It is a sacred, purposeful connection that requires spiritual maturity. While you wait, every moment of solitude, silence, and struggle is shaping you. God wants you to be whole,